Hey there, Facebook. It is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer, and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today's message is all about people equaling possibilities. And this one I want to take a number of different angles with you guys today, and it just sort of is top of my mind because yesterday evening a couple of nights ago actually, I met this amazing woman and just out at a cocktail lounge, and anyway, we just connected, we just had some sort of connection, and I caught up with her again last night, and starting to sort of build a friendship there, and it just got me thinking into this topic. It's coming up quite a lot in terms of people being your most valuable resources. When we connect with different people, it's so fascinating to see, the crossovers, how we can, add more value to each other's lives. And it's all about the connections. It's all about who you know. And just in terms of that, I'm connecting her with a couple of other friends who could really do some incredible stuff together, and it's just exactly what she sort of needed. And so I'm really excited about seeing where that goes. And also, recently I've been meeting some great people. I've been expanding what I do in my business because of the people that I'm connecting with, and it just got me thinking in terms of this, because a big part of what I do is I go into different teams, work with teams, and in order to actually identify, the brilliance of the individuals on that team so that they can get the best out of them and ultimately create an environment where nobody wants to leave because they understand what their values are. The people who manage them and they're interacting with and in a team with all appreciate the key gifts that they have to bring to the table. And ultimately, they are in roles and positions that are nurturing their growth and really playing to their strengths. And that is, I love being able to bring that language to the best parts of who people are and make sure that they can connect and get the best out of one another. And there is no better way of doing that than in terms of team. Because like I was saying, people are your greatest resource. Doesn't matter, people make everything happen. It's about those connections. It's about how we can create win-win situations, play to our strengths, bring, the strengths of others that to the table, which are our voids. We've all got that cost of specialization. So our greatest strengths can tend to be the weaknesses for others and vice versa. And so when we can recognize that, identify that, and ultimately get out of our own egos and allow other people to come into our lives and serve and connect and add value, then we just do tremendous things in the world. So that's what I wanted to just sort of chat into with you guys, and just a bit of a different topic, but let me know what you guys think, and I just want to check in and see who's joined me here. But Stephen, awesome to have you back, and Agneta, and Samia, and Moises, and Chris, and Francesca, and Victoria, and Gianni. Yes, hi Moises, and Bassam, and Ram, and Jeremy, and Misty. Awesome. And Svetlan, and yes, Stephen, I'm going really, really well. Hope you are too. And David, and Bina, and Russell, and Joseph. Awesome, Misty. You're awesome. I wait up every night. I'm so grateful for you, Misty. So much love to you. Over in Texas, one of my favorite places. I love it. And David, awesome. Thank you so much for your kind words there. And Joseph, awesome to have you. Awesome, Russell. Grateful that this is resonating with you. And Jamil, awesome. And Ram, people are most valuable assets. Definitely. When we talk into our business environments, like the number one reason why people leave their workplace or leave their job is because of lack of appreciation. And we are unappreciated because people around us do not know what our key strengths are, and sometimes it's because we don't know, and we're just operating in this realm. And that's why I love the idea of going into these teams and ultimately being able to give teams all of the language to the best parts of who they are and create an environment where the best of them is supported, nurtured, appreciated, and respected. And And there is nothing better than that. You know, when you have a team of people who are all knowing their strengths, playing to their strengths, and being appreciated for their strengths, you become unstoppable. There is so much that we can achieve in these team environments, whether that be even in your intimate relationship, in your friendship groups, and definitely in your business teams as well. So I love that. And awesome. And Joseph, nice to have you. Yes. And Sahin, nice to have you. And yes, Ram, success is all about value adding interdependency. Yes, exactly. Getting to that stage of interdependence. You guys have heard me speak into Stephen Covey's model, the dependence model on from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, where ultimately we can transition from codependency, where we're really reliant on somebody else or others, and we can transition into independence, where we just want to do everything ourselves. But ultimately, the name of the game when it comes to, you know, dealing with people and getting the best out of one another, it's ultimately transitioning to interdependence, where we know our strengths, we know the strengths of others, and we can give that to each other, create a win-win, and add immense value so that we can continue to specialize in our strengths and be open to, you know, bringing in the strengths of others that fill up our blind spots. So I love that. And Kaden, awesome to see you. Learn and love people and live life better. Definitely. And yes, hey Jeremy, hey Ram, and Tanapat, nice of you to join me. And Adenran, nice to have you. And Josh and Nathan, and Alicia, awesome to have you. Thank you so much for sharing, Adenran. It's so nice of you to share. And Cam, nice to have you. Love it, Jeremy. Yes, we're on the same page. That awesome. All about team. Jay, awesome to see you. And Craig, awesome. And Dawn and Andrew and Tony. Misty, you give and take and set the world on fire with what you learn and accomplish with your team. So, so true. And I have learnt this lesson not only when I used to work in the corporate environment, but also definitely in terms of intimate relationship. It is my core belief that, you know, an extraordinary quality of relationship is always built on the foundation of team. You know, we are equals, but we bring something different to the table, and we love and we respect our differences and also our similarities. And it's about, being on that team that's, conducive to you moving forward, being each other's biggest encouragement, biggest support, and challenging each other to go to the next level, seeing the potential in one another and striving for that as well. So I love that, Misty. Thank you. And Mark, awesome to have you. And Melissa and Romy, yes. What are your sessions you mentioned? What do they cost? I sure enjoy listening. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Romy, so I do a bunch of different things. So what I'm really talking in today is the fact that going into actually business teams and working with their teams to bring out the best through personality psychology and ultimately get them playing at a much higher game. So that's what I'm really talking into now. But if you're referring to my, I always talk about my 15-minute power sessions. They are absolutely free. I just want to connect with you guys. I want to see if I can add value to you. And yeah, I just love meeting you. So those sessions are free, but let me know if there was something else you were talking about there. I'd love to chat with you about it. And Nu, awesome to have you. And Jerry and Becky, awesome guys. So really that's what my message to you guys is. It's really that people equals possibilities. You don't know who that next person you meet. You don't know what doors that's going to open up for yourself and for them, what sort of win-win you can create, the connection that you can build, the love that you can experience, that push to your next level of potential, that introduction to a new perception, a new mindset that revolutionizes your life, your health, your relationships, whatever it is. So my message to you guys is to stay completely open to making new connections and also nurturing the people in your life. You know, create extraordinary teams. Have that focus, because it is ultimately the people in our lives that create those possibilities and the excitement and the connection, and you never know what's going to happen and what could eventuate if you stay open to those connections. And like me, you know, just meeting this random woman who you know, I've got this great connection with already, and yeah, you know, you don't know where those sort of things are going, and yeah, definitely, you know, having that focus on building that depth of connection and seeing how you can always create win-wins with people. So I love that. And just want to lastly, guys, you know, if you have any questions, comments, experiences, whatever, you know, in terms of talking in about people and nurturing those relationships, whether it is in your intimate relationship, your friendship, your family, your business relationships, and how you go about leveraging the best out of the people that you surround yourself with, and ultimately creating win-wins where what you create together is so much larger than what you could create on your own. It's a beautiful thing. So never lose sight of that, and always remind yourself that people equal possibilities. So awesome. Kane, nice of you to join me, and Fiona and Jessica and Dean and Rondi and Soikiru. Oh, one of those names I just can't get. Definitely, Dean, nice to reconnect with you. And George, nice to have you. And thank you so much for your kind words there, Kane. Appreciate you so much. And awesome of you to join, Graham. And Kaden, yes, what's your advice on working in business with friends? How do you nurture a healthy and respectful business partnership with friends or family? Awesome. I've done a lot of that. I've done so much work in terms of, yeah, working with friends, working with intimate partners, and working in family relationships. So great question. And the number one thing that I have always learnt, and sometimes learnt the hard way, is communication. Because when we do not communicate, it's about getting absolute crystal clear vision about what we're looking for. Because when we don't get that crystal clear clarity about what we're working towards, what's going to work for us on multiple different levels, and we then couple that with not communicating, then we end up in this realm of just expectation, which creates a whole bunch of conflict, and then we don't communicate until we really, you know, get shit hits the fan. Sorry for my language there, but that's, you know, that's kind of what happens. We get to that breaking point in these relationships because we have put too much expectation without that communication. And so there is nothing better than having self-awareness. And that's why I love nothing more than going into team environments. This is what has worked for me so well in the past, is being able to identify and get a profile of who you are, who the people you're working with on the team. If you value people, you value your connections, and you want to create an extraordinary quality of team so you can get extraordinary results, the number one thing, have that self-awareness so that you can identify what those key strengths are for you, who's got other key strengths, how you can all play to your strengths. Because ultimately, when we're playing to our strengths, that's when we're most energized. It's where we get the most fulfillment. So being able to identify that, have the self-awareness, and then be able to communicate it and lay it all out on the table so that you can see who's on this team. How can we make sure that we're all operating to our strengths? We're energized, we're motivated, we can see each other's blind spots. It's about having that crystal clear clarity and then communicating about it from a place of self-awareness and definitely intention. So I love your question there, Caden. I hope that my response there was of value to you. But let me know if I can clear anything up. I'd love to help you. And Kevin, open and optimistic creates a win-win. Definitely love that. And Matt, nurture everyone and everything around you, and don't know what they could have in store for you. Exactly. And you know, life is about building relationship, adding value. When you come from a place of service and contribution, where you come from a place of getting outside of yourself and trying your best to add value to whoever you meet, you know, you feel so great within you, and you also open so many doors for yourself. You don't know where down the track, whether it's now or later, you know, that person could turn into a really valuable resource for you and open up the doors of possibility. And another thing I just wanted to mention here is, you know, instead of being you know, trying to be interesting, meeting new people, I'm a really big believer in absolutely fascinating over the people that you meet. You know, be so excited about learning about them that, you know, they open up. You know, we get the best out of others when, you know, our favorite topic is always going to be ourselves. And when you can show genuine interest in learning about another, you really do build such a depth of connection, because people want to open up. They feel valued, they feel respected, and you build such a genuine connection with people when you can get outside of yourself, stop trying to be interesting, and start being totally interested, and like I like to say, fascinate over them. It's a great gift that you can give others, and you'll learn so much. You know, I like to say, I know everything about me. I want to learn about you. You know, it's so interesting. You learn so much, and you really build other people up, and yeah, you build that depth of connection. So love that, Matt. Thanks for sharing. And yes, Graham, a bit earlier today. I don't know. You guys know I'm a bit random. I could show up at any moment of any day. And Kirsten, nice to have you. And Kane. And Misty, lack of communication drives me insane. Me too, Misty. You know, lack of communication, just, you can't move forward. You know, without communication, there is no relationship. That is just such a strong belief of mine. If we can't communicate, then we are not giving others the opportunity to build connection with us, and ultimately we're just stunting our growth. And if we know that people are possibility, then we're stunting the possibilities in our life, our potential in life. So love that, and I totally agree, Misty. Lack of communication drives me totally insane. And yes, Philip, nice to have you. And Kevin, sorry, no problems. I hope you caught the recording of last night's Facebook Live, and I'm definitely happy to have you back, Kevin. Thank you. And Lauren, hi Ness, just popped in, but catch the recording later. Awesome. Hope you get value from it, Lauren, and thanks for checking in. Awesome to have you, Tracy and Sif and Carolina. Hope you guys you know, catch the recording and get some value from today's message, but it's all about people. I want you guys to really be thinking about people as your possibilities. Fascinate over people, learn from them, you know, understand their stories, where they came from. There is so much value in learning about others and fascinating over them and seeing their potential, and always, you know, respecting our differences, learning about our differences and not being threatened by our differences, actually seeing how our differences can create win-wins between us. It's so valuable, and team is everything. No matter, like I said, whether that is your team in your business environment or any of your relationships, intimate relationship, friendships, you know, your family relationships, it's about creating a team. And what does a team do? They play different roles. They play to their strengths, and they give that to the group, and ultimately we can achieve so much more when we work together as an extraordinary team and don't go into, you know, swap the competition for collaboration. That is a big belief of mine, and one that I've lived through many times, often, you know, in pain. So definitely don't want you guys to go down that path. And Bradley, awesome of you to join me. And Lauren, comparison is the thief of joy. Be yourself and bring it to the team. I love that. Definitely, Lauren. It's not like comparison. Nobody is you. You know, we've all heard it. But when we can learn to have that self-awareness about the greatest parts of who we are and what we can bring to the table, then we can lose the comparison, the competition, and we can get into collaboration and ultimately not be threatened by the strengths of others, and instead see how we can better support one another. So guys, that really is my message for you guys today. I hope that it's been valuable for you. I hope it's got you thinking in terms of who are the people in your life where, you know, it would be extraordinary to know how you could create better win-wins, better team. And if it's something that interests you, I would love to introduce you to what I do in terms of creating extraordinary quality of teams so that you can make sure that everybody on your team is playing to their strengths and that we're all loved and respected and appreciated for what we bring to the table, and ultimately how we can utilize those connections to fill up our blind spots, you know, so that we can create magic together. So thanks for joining Tara and Kuldeep. I'm just finishing off and tying it off, so I really hope that you guys catch the recording, and same to you, Daniel. Nice for you to join me, but catch the recording. Hope you gain tons and tons of value, and I hope it gets you thinking in terms of valuing the people in your life and then being open to new connections wherever you go. You do not know what doors they will open to amazing possibilities and accessing higher levels of your potential. And lastly, before I sign off, I just see Holly's written something here. Amazing teams do play to their strengths. I'm a teacher and want my students to feel a part of the team. Awesome. The kids need to know who they are and what they can bring to the table. Vanessa, I'm loving your talks. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your experience there, Holly. And I love that you're a teacher, and I love that you have such a focus as to bringing those kids into a team dynamic, because don't we just get the best out of ourselves when we're working with a conducive team that really supports us, nurtures us? You know, it both supports us, but it also challenges us to grow and learn and develop. And we can just, you know, experience extraordinary things. You know, life is meant to be in relationship and in team and play to each other's strengths, and we get so much, we can create so much more and experience so much more when we're able to collaborate rather than be in that competition mode. So I absolutely love that, Holly. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that's it from me today, guys. I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything coming at you. Definitely let me know how I could be adding more value, supporting you more, and yeah, definitely book in a 15-minute power session with me if any of what I've mentioned today is interesting to you. I'd love to talk more and help you break through to your next level. And I will see you guys tomorrow. So much, much love to you.